Namaste, Daji.
Namaste, Vidya.
How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Daji, today I would like to talk more about meditation. So, we all want to know, how did you come to this meditation? When did you meet your guru? And how did it change your life? We just want to know about your personal experiences about meditation.
It's too long, too long. I will need many episodes, but I'll try and summarize it as shortly as possible, briefly as possible. It started in 1976, when I was just 19 years. One of my friends who used to watch me meditate, he somehow put it so bluntly, "What are you doing and why are you wasting your time closing your eyes? I see you always disturbed when you have closed your eyes." I said, "Well, I'm trying to meditate. I don't know how to, but I'm trying my best." He said, "Let me take you to one lady who would help you to go in trance right away." It appealed to me, you see. I said, "All right, let's go." So he took me to one lady. She was the preceptor of these systems under Sahaj Marg. Very simple lady in her 40s. She started asking me, "Why do you want to meditate?" So I said, "It's my natural desire. I would like to meditate. I'd like to realize God. And one day, hopefully, I'll take sannyasa and travel all over India in jungles and like Swami Vivekananda. I want to become like him." She said, "My Guruji says no to such sort of a life." She said, "If God is everywhere, He is in your house. He is not a jungle dweller. When we say He is everywhere, He has to be everywhere. So look for Him wherever you are." That was one. And second thing that I told him, I'd like to take sannyasa and just disappear. Don't want to marry also. She said, "That is not good. God was not a foolish person to create two sexes. One was enough. It has a role." So with these two enlightenments, he said, "Let's not discuss further. I will give you initiation into this system," which happens to this transmission we talked about the other day. Transmission aided meditation. So it becomes so simple, just as it is as simple as, let's see, I put it this way: when a lame person cannot walk properly, he needs crutches or a cane to support. When the mind is unable to rest on a particular thought during meditation, it is this transmission that works like a cane or a crutch. It supports you, almost like a mantra. For example, when a person is asked to repeat mantra again and again, he is fixated on one mantra, but he is not becoming conscious of other things. Yes. Like the example I gave you was, you keep calling your mother, "Hello, hello, hello, mother, hello, mother, hello, mother." You don't give a chance to your mother at all to speak. Same way, when we meditate, we prayerfully start this meditation and wait for things to happen within ourselves on its own. And this happens because of transmission. It makes us experience the deep peace within, the deep calm within, and much more than that. That's the first step. Peacefulness, calmness, poise. That is the first fundamental step before we can jump into meditation. We don't have to try. It just happens naturally. Yeah. And when she gave me this first sitting, it was the most amazing experience I had in my life. Profound experience. And that experience proved it to me, okay, yes, this is the right guru. If a mere trainer of the system can give you so much of a condition, spiritual experience, imagine the maker of the system. So I was longing to meet him, but since I was studying, I could go to him only during vacations, which happened only in 1977, almost a year later. That was my first encounter. Very loving, very genuine person, down to earth, very simple man in Shahjahanpur. His utter simplicity can amaze you. Just looking at him, can make you wonder that, yes, there is purity in this person, there is simplicity in this person. His whole being was radiating, full of radiance, full of love. And you can feel that transmission which I felt long distance flowing through him all the time. There is never a dull moment around him, even when he was silent, which he was most of the time, yet there was inner communion happening all the time. We are too busy inside trying to fill him inside us. That was the beginning of my journey with this Guruji.
Wonderful. So what were the changes that you've seen within yourself before and after?
Oh my God, tremendous. I mean, it's a different world altogether. And there is I'm never stuck with one experience. It keeps changing moment to moment. It's a dynamic path. And since there is a constantly changing consciousness within, naturally you will feel inner weather changing all the time. One has to become more perceptive. There is no dearth of experiences with this system. In fact, you say, when are these experiences ever going to end? They're so beautiful, yet you like them to end and go beyond all these experiences.
Wonderful. So, Daji, do you think meditation will actually control the stresses of any human being? Stress part?
Well, it definitely does it. 100%, more than 100%. But that is not the goal. See, today's day and age, people say, I want to remove the stress. I want to get out of this depression. I want to have this problem solved. I want to have this problem solved. I want peace. I want fast sleep. I want my blood pressure to be reduced. All these are possible. But this is not the reason why one should meditate. See, if you are a queen and say your little daughter comes and say, Mommy, give me 5 rupee. What would you think?
We'll actually think about the reason why is she asking it for.
Well, for me, if my child asks, give me 5 rupees, and when I'm the king.
Okay, take it.
Not that. Ask me for much more. Why are you asking me, bothering me for 5 rupees? Okay. Isn't it? I can give you much more. When we approach God, when we ask for peace of mind, for example, He can definitely bestow. But it's like asking for 5 rupees when He could give much more than that. If He can give Himself to us, then what is the point of asking for 5 rupees? When He comes, automatically everything comes, including 5 rupees. There is a beautiful story in Mahabharata. Just before the war begins, Mahabharata war begins, two sides, they decide, Pandavas and Kauravas, let's take help of Lord Krishna. So Duryodhana and Arjun, they are at the doors of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna says, well, you are here, I cannot refuse the help. But I have these 2 things to offer, I will not do much more than that. One thing is, I will be present in the war on one side. I will not pick up any arm. On the other side, you have my army, you have my everything that I have. You can take that. So Duryodhana, with his dusht buddhi, he picked up what Lord could give him, the army and other things to fight with. And he's found that, Lord Krishna is a useless fellow. Without arms, how can he fight? When he has already decided he's not going to pick up even one arm. So he chose that. Arjun was wiser, said, my Lord, you are sufficient for me. Having you by my side, how can I lose the war? So when we approach God through meditation, when He could give us so many things, including Himself, why not choose His presence rather than what all He can give? He can give the universe, but what if He withholds Himself? With the universal gift will also be incomplete.
Yes.
So we have to ask wisely from Lord, do I want peace of mind, removal of stress, or removal of my sickness? Even if I remain sick all my life, but at the end of my life, if I can have the Lord, then bargain is quite cheap.
Yes.
Have Lord first.
That's true.
So we have to change our goals, go beyond all these things, and then decide. Once you have made up your mind that yes, I want to achieve this, then invest all your energies in this direction. Half-heartedly, when we approach spiritual path or anything in life, it's never done to our contentment. See? For example, if there is a water canal, this example I am giving also from the master who had actually shown it to me. It was one wintry morning in Shahjahanpur, and I was standing quite at a distance from him, about 10-15 feet, and we were just two alone. He was in his chair like this. He said, "Yao, come here." So I go to him. He made me sit down. Then he said, "Look, it being the wintry morning, with his nail, he could scratch himself." And he said, "Oh, look, this is a water canal." I said, "Yes, Babuji." Then he drew another canal, scratched himself, and so now the 50% force is reduced. Do you understand? I say, "Yes, Babuji." So when we have multiple channels, we reduce the force of our inner resources. When I have one goal in mind to be achieved at any cost, then all my energies are invested there. See? Recently, I was learning from one young fellow. My phone was getting drained very fast. So he said, "Why are you all these applications open on your screen? Close them. Keep only your phone and whatever else you need. Shut down all the other applications. Then battery life will be longer." So the goal and what we are trying to achieve, we must invest all our energies in that direction. I cannot play here, I cannot play there. One goal, one path, one investment, and that's that.
But in this competitive life these days, what our teachers, everybody is teaching us is you have to be a multitasker, you have to be everywhere doing something or other. So in that case, what would you say?
Oh, that's very easy actually. The goal, when we fix a goal, it does not really interfere with other things that we are doing. Yeah. Let me give one small example. When did you start learning driving? Or started riding a bicycle? As a child of 4 or 5, parents taught us, with the three-wheeler, so that, it remains in balance and you won't fall. Time comes when they bring a bicycle, 2 wheels, but 2 wheels in the back supporting it.
Yes.
Right? Then a time comes, both the wheels from the back are removed and you are on your own. You are riding around the whole entire neighborhood. Time comes when you have backpack and you're going to school, letting go of your hands also, singing with your friends. Now, when this act which you learn consciously becomes unconscious effort, or it has become subconscious, it has become part of your nature, then my cycling does not bother me from singing. It does not bother me from seeing everything around me. It does not bother me from talking to someone over the phone also while I'm riding.
Yes.
So this is multitasking, but the goal is something else here. It is not that child's goal is to go from home to the school. That is not compromised when he is doing other things. Precisely that way. When my inner attention is so trained through meditation to remain focused on something, while at the same time I'm peddling my heart, attending to so many things, but my heart is already connected with something very profound with which I am already in tune. It does not distract my paddling of the heart with my maker. It is going on. At the same time, I am able to do so many other things. I could be cooking, but my heart is somewhere. I could be watching movie with my dear ones, perfectly fine, but my heart is somewhere. You're writing a book, my heart is somewhere. You can be doing so many things. And when you are connected with that sublime source, anything else that we do will achieve some level of fragrance of his presence. That's why Lord Krishna says, Yoga karmasu kausalam. Because when we are connected, anything that we do will have his fragrance.
So, Daji, what is yoga all about? How is it relevant in today's world?
Well, yoga, simply put, it is all about uniting. It's about connection. How well I can connect myself, my lower self with the higher self, Atma with Paramatma. It's very well defined. Yajyuti iti yoga, one that joins. Religion also has the same purpose, re-legger, to rejoin. See? I like to say the purpose of yoga in the words of Swami Vivekananda. He said one of his talks that the purpose of most spiritual practices is to allow this consciousness, with which we are working in day-to-day life, to expand itself into the sky of superconsciousness, which is infinite, and also allow this little available consciousness, allow it to dive deeper into the deepest ocean of subconsciousness. So in a way, this consciousness with which we are working, even today psychologists, they do believe that we are using hardly 8 to 10%. Even the best person cannot use more than that of available consciousness. Through yoga, we are trying to make use of this available consciousness, allowing it to soar higher into superconsciousness, from where we get inspiration. And this is possible only through meditation. Allowing the same available consciousness to dive deeper into subconscious through Yoga Nidra and other practices that we offer, it helps us receive sort of intuitions. Subconscious is a storehouse of our past experiences. Superconscious is all that what is yet to happen, but it tells you ahead of time, do this, do this, do this. It inspires you to do things. So yoga, rightly done, will always guide a person in the right direction. That's why people say, people who have always followed the yogic path, they don't fail on the way. You see, Lord Krishna was asked by Arjuna, this is described in chapter 12. How should one lead a life? The Lord Krishna tells him very simply, lead a life in divine consciousness. So there is consciousness played here. Paths like heartfulness meditation, through meditation, aided by this pranavati and yogic transmission, no time, in less than 5 minutes, it makes you touch your superconsciousness instantly. It's a matter of experience. And at night time, when we offer prayer, heartfully, with heart crying for love, with love for God, then the sleep that we enjoy after such a prayer is of a different order, different nature. Yogis, they call it as Yoga Nidra. It becomes a child's play with heartfulness meditation. But right from the first day, you are able to experience these two states of superconsciousness and subconsciousness. Rishis have died aspiring for it, meditating for hundreds of years, yet they remain thirsty of it because they had no idea what transmission is all about. They may have had an idea, but where to receive it from? See, because of my Guru's grace, he invented and he distributed it freely to all of us. He trained us, not like other gurus of the past, where they may have had the knowledge of it, but they did not pass it on. And that's how this tradition was lost. In his vision, he found out that, this technique of pranahuti was in vogue, was in practice 72 generations prior to Raja Dashrath. There was one rishi who had invented this method. And later on, it was found by my Guruji and said, okay, let's do this. And he started training people worldwide. He said, whatever I can do, they all can do. They are called preceptors in this system. So purpose of yoga, simply put, is to allow this consciousness to soar higher into super consciousness and allow it to go so deep into your subconsciousness. So this, let us say 8% becomes 20%, 30%, 40%, like that. That is the purpose.
Wonderful. So Taji, how do you utilize your meditation time? Because these days, people say we don't find time to do meditation, is the reason they say. So what would you have to say?
Well, Mahatma Gandhi used to say something very profound, that the day you don't find the time to meditate, devote more time to meditate. Because when you meditate more, you will have exactly the idea of what to do, how to finish the job, which would have taken you 10 hours. You will be guided in meditation how to knock it out in 1 hour. You will be guided from inside. So it is great actually when you are pressurized and you have to meditate, it brings out the best in us. Person who is so busy 24/7, he'll be able to notice the impact of meditation more than a person who is not doing anything at all. Because first thing, when you have a meditative mind, when you have meditated and developed this meditative mind, you are able to utilize it, make it dynamic in your day-to-day life. While a person who is doing nothing, he is meditated, what else can he do? He is doing nothing, maybe go to sleep. What else can he do? But a person who is so busy, in every act of busyness, he is able to touch someone's heart with meditative mind. And when he sees the result thereof, it's wonders. And you'll be wanting to do it more and more, more and more. When you see the results, profit out of this thing, you'll do it naturally. See? So you have to see the output of this input of meditation in daily life. Then you'll say, no, I can't let it pass just like that. Okay.
Daji, in this life, is our destiny fated or we have a free will to change our lives?
Holy Lord. This is a tough one. It's very well understood that we are played by both. Destiny is predetermined in some way because of our past acts. We have to work out what we have created. At the same time, while we are going through, God has given us so much of free will. Because of this, we are recreating our future. Okay. You see, that's where the samskaras are playing their part so endlessly, like Newton's law. What does the Newton's law say? Every action has a reaction, right? Oh, you know it too well. But the same principle, though it applies a bit differently. Yeah. In spirituality or in the emotional world, let's take it in the emotional world. I tell often this example to youngsters, where you like someone, you keep gazing in her eyes all the time, see, but she doesn't respond. Your action was there, but her response was not equal and opposite. That's right. But she smiles at you, if she winks her eyes, you will be sleepless for 10 days. You see the emotional response of the same, which was hardly for 10 seconds. In the spiritual world, when I am praying to the Lord, and when the response comes, when I am walking one step towards the Lord, He walks many, many, many steps towards us. He is waiting. He is worse than the modern day lovers. He is worse than all of us combined. His love in waiting for us is tremendous. The moment we make one move, He creates the way for us. He keeps coming to us, and His one step is bigger than our step. So it's not equal and opposite, it is multi in the spiritual world. So destiny making is in our hands, the future that we are making. If you say today this present that I have created is because of the past, definitely then the future that will be, it will be because of my present actions for which I have the free will. Without this free will, I cannot determine the goal. Our lifestyle as a human being is not like that of a rose flower, for example. Rose is destined to become rose, it cannot become lotus. With human beings, we have freedom with consciousness. We play with consciousness so much. You have an opportunity to create a tamasic mind or tamasic consciousness. You can become a dacoit, you can choose to become a terrorist. At the same time, you have a choice to become sattvic consciousness, sage-like, seer-like, saintly. It is up to us. Choice is ours. This is the problem of free will, how to use it. Either you can make your life or break your life. Choice is yours. Though destiny has played some part, but our free will creates havoc if it is not utilized properly.
Yeah. So, Daji, thank you so much for answering so many day-to-day questions about meditation, yoga, and also about destiny. It was wonderfully said, and thank you so much once again.
Thank you, my dear, for having me here. Thank you. Pranams.